The spotlight burned like a betrayal, pinning 17-year-old Alex Rivera to the stage as Principal Harlan Whitaker's thick fingers gripped the certificate. Alex's hard-won proof of excellence in dramatic arts. And with a savage rip that echoed through the auditorium like a gunshot, the man tore it in half. Gasps rippled from the crowd of students and parents in Elmwood High's packed hall. The live TV cameras from Channel 7 capturing every jagged edge of the paper fluttering to the floor like fallen dreams. While Alex's heart shattered in the silence that followed, his secret love for his classmate Jamie flickering like a candle in a storm. In that frozen instant, as Whitaker's voice boomed with venomous justification, "This school honors virtue, not perversion," Alex felt the weight of 1,000 hidden battles crash down, but from the front row, a woman's steady gaze pierced the chaos, igniting a spark that would unravel everything. Alex had always known he was different, even before the whispers started in the hallways of Elmwood High, a sprawling brick fortress in the heart of suburban Ohio, where cornfields met cul-de-sacs and dreams were measured in college applications. At 17, with his easy smile hiding the ache of unspoken truths, Alex Rivera was the kid who lit up drama club rehearsals with monologues that peeled back the soul's raw underbelly. His family, his single mom, Rosa, a tireless nurse with calloused hands and a laugh like summer rain, had moved from a cramped apartment in Cleveland to this sleepy town 3 years ago, chasing affordability and a fresh start after his dad's abandonment. Rosa never pried too deep into Alex's late-night sketches or the way his eyes lingered on the boys in the bleachers during football games. She just brewed extra cafecito and said, "Mijo, the world's big enough for your light." But Elmwood wasn't the world. It was a microcosm of small-town America, where Friday nights revolved around the Cougars' gridiron glory and Sunday sermons preached fire and brimstone from pulpits lined with faded glory. It started innocently enough, that pull toward Jamie Harlan, no relation to the principal, thank God, but the coincidence felt like cosmic irony. Jamie was 18, a lanky redhead with freckles like scattered stars across his nose and green eyes that crinkled when he laughed, the kind of laugh that made Alex's stomach flip like a poorly timed stage dive. They met in sophomore English, bonding over dog-eared copies of The Great Gatsby, debating whether Daisy Shimmer was love or just pretty poison. Jamie was the straight-A soccer captain, out and proud in his own quiet way. No, wait, Jamie wasn't out to anyone yet, but Alex caught the glances, the accidental brushes of hands in the prop room during set builds. Their first real conversation happened under the oak tree behind the auditorium, rain pattering on leaves as Alex confessed his audition nerves for the State Drama Festival. "You're gonna kill it," Jamie had said, his voice low and steady, their knees touching just long enough to send electricity crackling. From there, stolen moments piled up. Notes slipped into lockers quoting E. Cummings, late-night texts dissecting indie films, a shared milkshake at the diner where Jamie's foot nudged Alex's under the booth, neither pulling away. But secrets in a town like Elmwood were fragile as frost on a windshield. Rumors ignited when Alex landed the lead in the fall musical, a role that demanded he bare his heart in songs about longing and loss. Whispers slithered through the vents. Rivera's too. You know, for that part. Principal Whitaker, a man whose Bible thumped louder than his gavel in faculty meetings, caught wind early. At 55, Harlan Whitaker was Elmwood's iron-fisted guardian, a Vietnam vet turned educator who patrolled the halls like a warden, his policy on moral conduct a thinly veiled crusade against anything that didn't fit his narrow mold of American boyhood. He'd risen through the ranks on a platform of traditional values, backed by the PDA's old guard. White, wealthy, whispering about protecting our kids from the liberal agenda seeping in from the coasts. Alex's family, with their Spanish lullabies and rainbow flag pin on Rosa's scrubs, was an easy target. Whitaker had already sidelined Alex from the homecoming court last year, citing leadership concerns, but the drama award, that was national recognition, a scholarship pipeline to NYU's Tisch School, beamed live on local access TV for the entire county to see. The night of the awards ceremony dawned crisp and golden, October leaves carpeting the parking lot like confetti from a forgotten parade. Alex arrived early, his palms slick with nerves, the certificate clutched in his messenger bag like a talisman. He'd spent hours practicing his acceptance speech in front of his bedroom mirror, weaving in lines about resilience and the power of stories to bridge divides, subtle nods to his own hidden world. Jamie had texted him a heart emoji at dawn, followed by, "Break a leg, superstar. Meet me after?" Alex's reply was a simple can't wait, but inside, his chest bloomed with the terrifying thrill of possibility. What if tonight, after the lights dimmed, he finally said it? What if Jamie felt the same pull, that magnetic ache that made every glance feel like foreplay? The auditorium buzzed with anticipation as families filed in, the air thick with perfume and pride. Banners dangled from the rafters, celebrating excellence at Elmwood High. Channel 7 live broadcast. Cameras rolled from the wings, their red lights winking like conspiratorial eyes. Alex's mom sat in row 5, her scrubs swapped for a thrifted dress. Beaming through tears, she dabbed with a tissue. Jamie was 2 seats over, fidgeting in his Letterman jacket, stealing glances that made Alex's speech slur in rehearsal. And then there was Elena Vasquez, the guest of honor, flown in from LA for a masterclass on indie filmmaking. At 42, Elena was a force, director of Shadows of Soul, an Oscar-nominated docuseries on queer youth in red states that had sparked national debates and death threats in equal measure. She'd chosen Elmwood for its untapped stories, but her presence felt like a shield Alex didn't know he needed. Elena's eyes, sharp as a lens aperture, scanned the room during her intro, lingering on Alex with a nod that said, "I see you." As names were called, valedictorian this, science fair that, the energy built like a crescendo. Then, Alex Rivera, for outstanding achievement in dramatic arts. Applause thundered, Jamie's whoop cutting through like a lifeline. Alex bounded on stage, heart hammering, shaking hands with the superintendent before turning to Whitaker. The principal's smile was a rictus, his grip on the certificate lingering too long. "Congratulations," he muttered, voice laced with acid, as he handed it over. Alex unfolded it under the lights, the words blurring through happy tears. "Presented to Alex Rivera for exemplary talent and leadership." He launched into his speech, voice steady at first, pouring out gratitude to his mom, his mentors, and those who remind us love isn't a script, it's the improv that saves us. That's when it cracked. Whitaker stepped forward mid-sentence, his face twisting into a mask of righteous fury. "Enough," he barked, snatching the paper from Alex's unresisting hands. The auditorium fell into a stunned hush as he held it aloft, the cameras zooming in mercilessly. This award was given in error. Excellence. In a school that stands for moral integrity. His voice rose, a sermon disguised as scandal. "We've got parents watching at home, good Christian folk, and I won't let this deviance be celebrated on their dime." With deliberate cruelty, he tore it. Once, twice, for times, shreds raining down like accusations. Alex stood frozen, the world narrowing to the sting in his eyes, the burn in his throat. Laughter erupted from the back, cruel and scattered, while sobs choked from the front. Jamie surged to his feet, face ashen, but a teacher's hand clamped his shoulder. Rose's cry pierced the din, a raw no, that echoed Alex's fracturing soul. In that void, Elena Vasquez rose like a phoenix from the ashes of apathy. She didn't shout. She moved with the precision of a director calling cut. Striding up the aisle, microphone in hand, snatched from a stunned tech, her voice sliced through the feed, calm and commanding. "Turn those cameras back on," she said, not to Whitaker, but to the world. "This isn't a glitch, it's a story. And stories like this? They don't end with tearing paper. They end with rebuilding lives." The principal whirled, sputtering, "Who the hell are you two?" But Elena was already on stage, her arm linking Alex's trembling one, pulling him close in a gesture that felt like armor. "I'm the one who's going to make sure every viewer sees what real courage looks like," she said, eyes locked on Whitaker's. "And you? You're just the villain who forgot his lines." The broadcast cut to commercial and chaos, Whitaker barking orders to kill the feed, security shuffling forward, but Elena's words had already gone viral, pinging across phones in the room like digital shrapnel. Alex clung to her side, the shreds at his feet a mosaic of his humiliation, yet in her steady presence, something shifted. Jamie pushed through the crowd then, ignoring the principal's glare, wrapping Alex in a hug that smelled of fresh-cut grass and desperation. "I'm here," Jamie whispered, lips brushing Alex's ear. "I love you, okay? I should have said it sooner." The words landed like rain on parched earth, and for the first time that night, Alex breathed. What followed was a whirlwind that reshaped Elmwood's fault lines. Elena didn't stop at intervention. She turned the camera back on herself, commandeering the auditorium's AV system to livestream a raw, unscripted rebuttal. "Folks at home," she addressed the lens, Alex beside her, Jamie's hand in his. "This young man just poured his heart out, and it was met with hate. But hate's loud only until truth shows up." She shared Alex's speech from memory, then her own story, growing up queer in a Texas border town, directing her first film on smuggled VHS tapes. The chat exploded, Elmwood truth trending nationwide within minutes, celebrities chiming in, parents in the audience standing in solidarity. Whitaker, red-faced and isolated, retreated to his office, but not before Elena cornered him off mic. "You're not erasing him. You're amplifying us all." By midnight, the school board was in emergency session, Rosa leading a charge of furious parents demanding Whitaker's suspension. Alex, numb and electric, rode home with Jamie in his beat-up Ford, the radio buzzing with pundits dissecting the Elmwood incident. They parked at Lover's Leap Overlook, the Ohio River glittering below like a vein of silver hope. "I meant it," Jamie said, turning to Alex in the dashboard glow. Their first kiss was tentative, then fierce, salty with tears, sweet with release. Hands tangling in hair, breath sinking like a duet long rehearsed. "I've wanted this since Gatsby," Alex murmured against Jamie's neck. "Me too," Jamie replied, "but fear's a shitty understudy." In that cocoon of vinyl seats, they mapped a future. Proms they'd crash together, colleges side by side, a life where love wasn't a subplot. Dawn broke with headlines. Director Stan shuts down bigot principal. Whitaker resigned by noon. His apology, a curt email laced with scripture quotes that fooled no one. Elena stayed in town a week, mentoring a student film crew with Alex at the helm. His new project, Torn Scripts, a doc on queer resilience that premiered at Sundance the next year, earning him that NYU scholarship twofold. Rosa hosted barbecues where rainbows flew unapologetically, and Jamie came out to his family over tamales, their embrace tentative but real. Yet the real victory unfolded quietly, in the everyday. Alex walked Elmwood's halls with Jamie's hand in his, no longer flinching at stares. The drama club swelled with outcasts finding voice, Elena's masterclass evolving into an annual festival that drew filmmakers from coast to coast. And on quiet nights, as Alex scripted his next scene by lamplight, he'd pause to trace the faint scar on his palm from clutching that lost certificate. Now a tattoo of ink and memory, a reminder that some rips mend stronger. Love, he learned, wasn't fragile. It was the thread that stitched the world's frayed edges, one defiant stitch at a time. But wait, that was just the spark. The fire? It raged through the weeks that followed, testing every bond Alex held dear. Whitaker didn't slink away quietly. Oh no, the man who preached purity from his bully pulpit had allies in the shadows. Church elders, radio hosts, even a state senator who'd once keynote Elmwood's graduation. By Monday, protests clogged the parking lot. Picket signs screaming, "Protect our children," clashing with counterchants of "Love wins," fists nearly flying as Rosa shielded Alex from a hurled water bottle. Jamie's parents, conservative holdouts in a liberalizing town, sat him down that evening over pot roast gone cold. "We love you, son," his dad grunted, avoiding eye contact. "But it's a phase, right? College will sort it." Jamie's voice cracked like thunder. "It's not a phase, Dad. It's me. And if you can't handle that, you're losing more than a game on Fridays." He stormed out, straight to Alex's door, where they collapsed on the twin bed, whispering futures until sleep claimed them in tangled limbs. Elena, ever the architect, saw the storm brewing and built bridges where walls loomed. She pulled strings, calls to GLAAD, op-eds in the Columbus Dispatch, turning Elmwood into a case study for her next series, Fractured Frames. Alex became her co-producer, his raw footage of hallway confessions and cafeteria courage capturing the town's slow thaw. One evening, filming a sunset interview with a trans junior who'd witnessed the tear down, Alex faltered, the camera shaking. "What if it's all for nothing?" he confessed to Elena later, over churros at the only taqueria in town. She set her cup down, eyes fierce with the wisdom of scars. "Stories aren't nothing, Alex. They're the only thing that outlives the hate. You think my first film changed Texas? It didn't. But it changed me, and the kids who snuck it into their rooms. That's the win." The romance with Jamie deepened in those fraught days, a balm against the barbs. Their first real date was a picnic by the Scioto River, blankets spread under willows where fireflies danced like errant stars. Alex packed empanadas from Rosa's recipe. Jamie brought a six-pack of root beer and a portable speaker blasting Hosier. As the sun dipped, painting the water crimson, Jamie pulled a small box from his pocket. Not a ring, but a silver chain with two interlocking gears. "For the improv," he said, clasping it around Alex's neck. "Keeps us meshed, no matter the script." They made love for the first time that night in Jamie's empty house. His parents had a conference, bodies learning each other with the reverence of explorers charting unclaimed lands. It was messy, sacred, gasps echoing off posters of Messi and Springsteen, Alex's name a prayer on Jamie's lips. Afterward, wrapped in sheets that smelled of them, Alex traced constellations on Jamie's back. "What if they never accept us?" Jamie's voice was small, vulnerable. Alex kissed his shoulder. "Then we accept us. That's the plot twist they can't rewrite." But plot twists have teeth. Midterms hit like a freight train, and with them, sabotage. Alex's locker was vandalized, slurs scrawled in red marker, his script notes shredded like echoes of that stage. Anonymous tips flooded the school email. Rivera's distracting the team, aimed at Jamie's captaincy. The soccer coach pulled Jamie aside after practice, helmet in hand. "Focus, Harlan. Distractions lose games and scholarships. Jamie lashed out, cleats flying into the net, but doubt crept in like fog off the river. That night, over pizza in Alex's kitchen, he voiced it. Maybe we cool it publicly? Just till playoffs. Alex's fork stilled, the cheese stretching like his fraying heart. Cool it. Like I'm a side character you bench. The argument escalated, words like daggers. Jamie's fear clashing with Alex's fire, ending in slammed doors and unanswered texts. Rosa found Alex curled on the couch at 2 a.m., eyes swollen. Hearts break, Mijo, she said, stroking his hair. But they don't stay broken if you fight for the mend. Elena's intervention came again, this time off camera, in a coffee shop booth sticky with syrup ghosts. She'd spotted the rift in Alex's slumped shoulders during a shoot. Love's not a monologue, she told him, stirring her latte. It's ensemble. Talk to him, not at him. Emboldened, Alex showed up at Jamie's practice the next dawn, Duke-kissed field empty save for goalposts like sentinels. I get scared too, Alex admitted, voice raw. Every day, but hiding us. That's the real loss. Jamie dropped his ball, crossing the grass in 3 strides, pulling Alex into a kiss that tasted of sweat and sorry. You're right. Full speed ahead. They went public that Friday, interlocked fingers at the pep rally, boos drowned by cheers from the growing alliance of allies. The climax crested at the town hall meeting, Whitaker's last stand. He'd rallied his flock for a values forum, but Elena hijacked it, streaming live with Alex and Jamie as anchors. This isn't about one tier, she declared to the packed room and 50,000 viewers. It's about mending the fabric. Testimonies poured. Rosa on immigrant dreams, the trans junior on survival, even Jamie's mom, tear-streaked, admitting, I was wrong. My boy's happiness is the only value that matters. Whitaker, cornered at the podium, faltered, his bluster crumbling under the weight of witnessed truth. He stepped down that night, not with grace, but with the quiet defeat of a man seeing his empire of echoes dissolve. In the aftermath, Elmwood bloomed. The drama festival Elena founded drew crowds from Cincinnati, Alex's torn scripts, netting festival awards, and a publishing deal for his companion novel. Jamie scouted college soccer with Alex's edits on his personal statement, their apartment dreams sketched on napkins over diner fries. Rosa started a support group, her living room a haven of shared stories. And Elena? She cast Alex in her next feature, a road trip romance through Heartland hidden loves, whispering on set, "You're the lead, kid." Always were. Years later, at the premiere in Toronto, Alex stood with Jamie, now husbands, rings glinting under chandeliers, thanking the woman who'd rewritten their reel. To interventions, Elena toasted, glass raised. The kind that saves scenes and souls. Outside, snow fell soft on the city lights, a reminder that even in winter, stories warm, and love, once torn, weaves eternal. The premiere's afterglow lingered like champagne bubbles on the tongue, but for Alex Rivera, now 25 and worlds away from Elmwood's echo chamber, it was the quiet returns that tugged hardest at the heartstrings. Toronto's streets, slick with November slush, led him and Jamie to a corner bistro where Elena held court, her laugh cutting through the murmur of critics and castmates. To the villains who make heroes, she quipped, clinking forks. But her eyes on Alex held deeper, gratitude for the boy who'd let her direct not just a film, but a movement. Jamie, broader now from pro leagues and life, squeezed Alex's knee under the table, his green eyes still crinkling with that boyish mischief. Remember the river picnic? He murmured. Alex nodded, the memory a anchor, gears clasped, bodies new to grace, the Scioto whispering approvals. Back in Ohio for holidays, the landscape had softened. No, transformed. Elmwood High's marquee now read, Pride Week kickoff, banners in every color fluttering where once only stars and stripes hung stiff. Rosa's house, expanded with scholarship-funded editions, brimmed with tamales and TIAs from Cleveland, their stories spilling like overfilled pots. You made it safe for Mateo, one aunt said, nodding to her shy nephew, 14, and sketching rainbows in the margins of his Bible. Alex knelt, ruffling the kid's hair. It's not me, Primo. It's us. All of us ripping up the old pages. But privately, doubts nipped. Had the win erased the wounds, or just papered them? Whitaker's shadow lingered in forwarded articles, his new gig at a private academy in Indiana, preaching the same gospel to fresh flocks. Jamie sensed the undercurrent during their jog through the corn-stubbled fields, breath clouding in the chill. You're brooding, Rivera. Alex slowed, kicking a clod of earth. Just, what if it's cyclical? One bigot down, 10 more sprout. Jamie stopped, hands on hips, sweat beading despite the frost. Then we keep intervening. Like Elena, like you did for me. He pulled Alex close, kiss fierce against the wind, a vow renewed. That night, In the attic room that had witnessed their first confessions, they made love with the familiarity of old scripts. Exploring scars turned constellations. Jamie's fingers tracing the gear tattoo now faded to silver whisper. Forever's not a line, Jamie breathed. It's loops. Alex arched, lost in the rhythm, emerging spent and sure. Love was the counterplot, endless and defiant. Spring brought Elena's Call, a sequel pitch, echoes unraveled, tracing queer alums through America's heartland. Alex signed on as writer-consultant, Jamie tagging along for location scouts that doubled as getaways. Their first stop, a diner in rural Kentucky, vinyl booths cracked like old hearts. There, they met Levi, 19, a barista with haunted blue eyes and a story that mirrored Alex's. Torn letter from the valedictorian spot, principal's family values clause. Saw your clip on TikTok, Levi said, sliding pie slices, voice trembling. Gave me guts to apply to art school anyway. Alex's throat tightened. Here was the ripple, the unintended legacy. It's not guts alone, he replied, scribbling his email on a napkin. It's community. Hit me up, we'll workshop your portfolio. The shoot unfolded like a tapestry, threads of pain and poetry weaving through dusty towns. In Tulsa, they filmed Marisol, a 22-year-old mechanic whose coming-out video went viral after her boss's homophobic rant. Echoes of Whitaker, but met with boycotts that saved her job. Felt like your director lady showed up in my garage. Marisol laughed, grease-streaked and glowing. Elena captured it raw, tears mixing with transmission fluid. Marisol's wrench a scepter of self-reclamation. Alex contributed scenes of his own, a montage of Elmwood's evolution, interviews with the trans junior, now a campus activist at OSU, her voice steady. Alex's stand? It was the green light I needed. Jamie, behind the camera more often, found his calling in advocacy reels for the team, his soccer fame lending reach to messages of inclusion. But cycles test resilience. Midway through principal photography in Nashville, a leaked clip surfaced. Whitaker, unmasked on a podcast, ranting, that Rivera kid's a symptom, Hollywood liberals poisoning our schools. Trolls swarmed socials, death threats pinging Alex's DMs, Jamie's games picketed by concerned parents. Rosa called nightly, voice steel, block the noise, Mijo. Focus on the melody. Elena rallied, turning backlash into B-roll. Alex facing a heckler at a Q&A, voice calm. Hates loud because it's scared. But love? It sings. The confrontation peaked at a fundraiser gala in Cincinnati, Whitaker crashing uninvited, Bible in hand, cornering Alex by the punch bowl. Repent, boy, before it's too late. The room hushed, flashes popping. Jamie stepped forward, arm around Alex. It's already too late, for your kind of too late. Elena, mic in fist, pivoted. Let's make this the scene. Cameras rolled impromptu. Whitaker's tirade captured in high-def fury. The clip exploded, GLAAD amplifying, senators decrying. Whitaker's academy fired him within days, his empire finally ash. In the quiet after, Alex and Jamie escaped to the Smokies, cabin fire crackling as rain lashed the panes. You were magnificent, Jamie said, feeding logs, shadows dancing on his freckles. Alex pulled him down, blankets tangling. We were ensemble. Their lovemaking was slow, reverent, fingers mapping years, breaths harmonizing hurt into harmony. Dawn found them entwined, watching mist rise, Alex whispering, this is the sequel I want. Torn scripts dropped to acclaim, but echoes unraveled, shattered records. Emmys, TED Talks, school districts mandating its screening. Alex's novel, Gearshift Hearts, hit bestsellers, its foreword by Elena. To the tears that taught us to rewrite. Jamie retired early from soccer, coaching youth leagues with Rainbow, Laces mandatory. Rosa's group expanded statewide, a network of mamas mending. And Levi? He directed his first short, dedicated to Alex, for the rip that revealed the gold. At 30, Alex stood on Elmwood's stage again, for the festival's 10th anniversary, Jamie beside him, their adopted daughter, Luna, 4, clapping from Rosa's lap. We tore up fear, Alex said to the crowd, voice thick, and built bridges from the pieces. Elena, gray-streaked and grinning, called from the wings, curtains yours, kid. As lights dimmed on cheers, Alex kissed Jamie soft, Luna's giggle the perfect fade-out. Love, it turned out, wasn't just intervention. It was the endless edit, cutting cruelty, splicing souls, forever in post. Luna's tiny hand in his, Alex navigated the festival crowds with the ease of a man who'd mapped these halls from haunt to home. At 30, fatherhood had softened his edges without dulling his fire, diaper bags slung over script binders, lullabies blending with plot twists. Jamie, ever the anchor, scooped Luna up for a piggyback, her giggles bubbling as they weaved through booths of student filmmakers hawking zines and zero-budget reels. Papa Alex, why's everyone crying? She asked, pointing to a cluster hugging after a screening. He knelt, brown eyes meeting her wide ones. Happy tears, me lose. From stories that heal. She nodded solemnly, then demanded cotton candy. Jamie's mock groan drawing laughs. The panel that afternoon was a love letter to legacy. Alex moderating, Elena keynote. Guests including Marisol, now owner of her garage, and Levi, whose short had snagged an Oscar nod. 10 years since the rip. Alex opened the auditorium, remodeled with pride murals, humming with 200 souls. What started as shred confetti became this. A space where voices aren't just heard, they're amplified. Elena took the mic, her presence still electric. Alex taught me directing's not control, it's release. Letting the actors own the arc. Questions flowed. On backlash, burnout, the boy who'd sparked it all. Levi leaned in. Your clip? It was my coming out cue. Mailed my application day of. Marisol added. And mine's the wrench that turned the tide. Post-panel, Jamie pulled Alex aside in the green room, door clicking shut. Proud of you, he murmured, backing him against the vanity, lips claiming with midday hunger. Luna napped with Rosa outside, granting stolen moments, hands roaming under shirts, breaths quickening in the mirror's reflection. Missed this, Alex gasped, nipping Jamie's jaw. Festival chaos or not. They crested fast, a release like punctuation, emerging flushed and rebut-toned to cheers from Elena peeking in. Save it for the sequel, she teased, but her wink held warmth. Evening brought the premiere of a student film inspired by torn scripts, a raw take on a rural queer kid's rebellion, directed by Mateo, now 24 and fierce. Alex teared up at the credits, Rosa's arm around him. Full circle, she whispered. But circles have shadows. Later, over wine at the after-party, a reporter cornered Alex. Heard Whitaker's writing a memoir. The War on Woke, Thoughts. The name landed like a gut punch, dredging the old bile. Jamie's hand tensed on his glass. Let him write, Alex said finally, voice steady. Audiences decide the reviews. Sleep evaded that night in their Elmwood Airbnb. Jamie's snores a counterpoint to Alex's worrying mind. By dawn, he was at his laptop, fingers flying, an op-ed for the Dispatch, from shreds to stronger, why villains' tales fade. It went viral by brunch, shares from allies, scoffs from trolls. Elena texted, chef's kiss. Now about that book tour collab. Jamie, flipping pancakes for Luna, grinned. Told you, endless edit. Summer unfurled with road trips. Luna's car seat a throne of queries. Why rainbows, Daddy Jam? Jamie fielded with tales of pride's past. Alex adding flourishes from film lore. They camped in the Appalachians, fireflies sinking with Luna's awe, nights in the tent a symphony of whispers and wonders. One dusk, as stars pricked the velvet sky, Jamie turned to Alex. 10 years. Still my best plot. Alex's response was a kiss under the cosmos, bodies aligning like gears true, love's machinery humming eternal. Fall brought challenges. Luna's preschool drama, a bully's taunt over two dads, echoing ancient hurts. Alex and Jamie tag-teamed the teacher conference, voices united. We model acceptance, or we fail her. The resolution? A class on diverse families, Luna's drawing of their trio framed on the fridge. Elena visited for Thanksgiving, her new project a VR experience of queer histories, Alex voicing the Ohio chapter. Your timbre, she said, mic hot, carries the weight. Winter holidays glittered with extended family. Jamie's folks, once stiff, now doting grandparents, passing tamales with apologies long absorbed. Rosa's eyes misted. From one to this. Yule log crackling, Luna danced to carols, her laughter the true gift. Spring 2035 marked 15 years since the tear, the festival swelling to a regional beacon. Alex keynote, Jamie filming, Luna stage managing props. Rips reveal, he told the throng. But men's make masterpieces. Post-speech, a surprise. Whitaker's memoir flopped, but a contrite letter arrived. Aged hand, halting words, I was wrong. Watch your film. Praying for peace. Alex read it aloud to Jamie that night. Forgiveness, a quiet exhale. Not for him, Jamie said. For us. Echoes Unraveled 2, filmed next. Alex directing episodes. Luna's cameo, a toddler narrator bridging past to promise. Levi co-wrote. Marisol gripped wrenches on set. Release night in L.A., Elena's arm linked Alex's. From intervention to inheritance. Jamie, Luna on shoulders, cheered loudest. At 35, Alex scripted a family rom-com. Jamie producing, Rosa consulting cuisine. Luna, precocious at 9, demanded input. Make the kiss epic. They did, hearts full. Legacy wasn't monuments, Alex knew. It was the everyday echoes, a kid in Indiana citing his story, a parent reconsidering sermons. Love intervened daily, in small stands and big embraces, the ultimate director's cut. Luna's 9th birthday dawned with the chaos of confetti cannons and cake batter wars. The Rivera Harlan kitchen, a battlefield of flour-dusted joy. At 35, Alex had traded stage fright for fatherly flair, his directorial eye framing the scene. Jamie wielding a whisk like a baton, Luna's curls wild under a paper crown, Rosa piping roses with surgical precision. Best party ever. Luna crowed, smearing frosting on Alex's cheek. He feigned offense, scooping her up for a twirl that ended in giggles and group hugs. Outside, the Ohio spring bloomed riotous, tulips nodding to the rainbow flag on the porch, a testament to battles won. The bash spilled into the yard, neighbors mingling with Elena, flown in for the milestone. She brought a mini Oscar lamp for Luna, future director's desk warmer, and stories of her latest, a podcast series on intergenerational queer tales. Your family's Exhibit A, she told Rosa over sangria. Jamie, grilling veggie skewers, caught Alex's eye across the lawn, a wink promising later unwinding. As dusk fell, fireflies rising like liberated spirits, Luna requested the Rip story, the family lore now bedtime canon. Alex obliged, embellishing for flair. Whitaker's scowl a cartoon villain, Elena's entrance a superhero swoop. And then, Luna prompted, "Ice stars." "Love one," Jamie chimed, arm around Alex. Every time. Post-party cleanup bred intimacy. Jamie and Alex scrubbing counters elbow to elbow, suds flying. "She's growing too fast," Jamie murmured, drying a plate. Alex nodded, sudsing a glass. "But look at her, brave like you." The kiss started soft, escalated sudsy, hands wandering until Luna's yawn herded them to tuck in. In their bed, bodies familiar as favorite lines, they moved with the grace of decades, slow explorations, Jamie's freckles mapped by moonlight, Alex's sighs scripting surrender. "My forever co-star," Jamie whispered post-climax, fingers laced. Sleep came easy, dreams of unwritten sequels. Monday brought routine's rhythm, school drop-offs, Alex's office hours at the local arts center, his post-NYU gig mentoring youth filmmakers. There, 16-year-old Kai waited, notebook clutched, voice hesitant, saw echoes. "I'm, like you were, need advice on telling my dads." Alex's heart clenched, echoes eternal. "It's not a scene to nail alone," he said, brewing tea. "Bring a director, someone who sees your cut." Kai left lighter, homework assignment. Journal the fear, then the freedom. Elena crashed that week, crashing on the couch with scripts and scotch. Her partner's passing had left hollows, but Elmwood's energy filled them. "Walk me through the old haunts," she requested one sunset, Alex and Jamie flanking her down memory lane. The auditorium, now Vasquez Hall. The oak tree scarred by lovers' initials. J plus a forever, Jamie traced, grinning. Elena snapped a photo. For the archives. Dinner devolved into jam sessions. Rose's guitar strumming folk tunes, Luna drumming spoons, laughter the bass line. Mid-month, a curveball, Jamie's old coach called, offering an assistant gig at OSU. Prestige, but a commute that had strained family fabric. Over tacos, debate simmered. "It's legacy," Jamie argued, eyes earnest. Alex countered, "Ours is here. Luna's school plays, my classes." Luna piped, "Don't go, Daddy Jam." Resolution brewed overnight. Jamie declined, proposing a local youth camp instead. "Build from the roots," he said, kissing Alex's temple. Elena, eavesdropping, approved, best rewrite. Summer scorched with festival fever. The 20th anniversary is spectacle, Alex's rom-com screening to sold-out cheers. Luna stole scenes as extra, her ad-lib, "Love Conquers," going meme viral. Post-premiere party, Whitaker's shadow resurfaced, not in person, but via a documentary crew seeking both sides. Alex agreed to an interview, Jamie at his side. "Hates his story," he told the camera, steady. "Mine's the mend." The doc aired balanced, but Alex's segment trended, tips pouring for Kai's fund. Fall foliage framed family hikes, Luna collecting leaves like plot points. One trail, Jamie proposed a vow renewal, simple, lakeside, Elena officiating. 20 years since the hug, he said, ring remade with gears. Alex teared, yes. Again. Winter wrapped in wonder. Luna's school pageant, her shepherdess line. Follow the star, pure poetry. Rosa hosted solstice, candles flickering on faces scarred and shining. Spring 2040, at 40, Alex eyed retirement from directing. Time for novels, perhaps a memoir. Jamie coached full-time, Luna aced debate club. Elena's VR hit museums, Alex's voice eternal. Legacy lived in letters. Kai, out and thriving, directing his thesis on Elmwood. Your rip? My reel. At the festival's gala, Alex toasted. From tear to tapestry, we weave on. Jamie's kiss sealed it, Luna's cheer the cue. Love, the grand intervention, scripted infinity. 40 felt like 40 frames per second, life accelerating, every moment a montage of milestones. Alex Rivera, silver threading his dark hair, woke to Luna's 14th birthday fanfare. Pancakes stacked like awards, Jamie's serenade off-key but heartfelt. The kitchen island, scarred from years of spills and schemes, bore witness as Luna blew candles. Wish unspoken but obvious. Her first film credit on Alex's latest, a family dramedy titled Loop Lines. To more takes, Rosa toasted. Her nurse's scrubs retired for grandparent gigs, eyes crinkling at the chaos she cherished. The day unfolded in Elmwood's embrace. Arcade runs, lake picnics where Luna quizzed Alex on directing tropes. What's a Dutch angle for heartbreak? Her curiosity a mirror to his youth. Jamie bold strikes, trash-talking with the grace of a man who'd learned victory in vulnerability. Evening brought Elena, jet-lagged from Berlin, bearing a leather-bound journal. For your memoir, finally. Over bonfire esmores, story swirled. Luna rapped at the ripped tale, now legend. Her generation's cautionary fable. Did it hurt bad? She asked Alex, marshmallow sticky. He pulled her close, like hell. But pain's the setup for the swell. Nightcap talks turned tinder. Jamie and Alex on the deck, stars pricking the ink-black sky. Luna's flying, Jamie said, hand warm on Alex's thigh. Scary, Alex admitted, leaning in. The kiss ignited slow, then urgent. Deck chair creaking under shifting weights, breaths fogging the chill. They retreated inside, path lit by Luna's forgotten fairy lights, bodies reuniting in the guest room hush, fingers deft from decades, moans muffled in pillows, climax a shared sigh of sustenance. Still my best scene, Jamie panted, tracing Alex's tattoo. Sleep knit them, dreams of unwound reels. Weekdays wove works warp. Alex's art center expanded to a nonprofit, ripped to reel, mentoring nationwide via Zoom. Kai now program director, his Oklahoma chapter thriving. Luna intern summers, her short on climate queers earning youth awards. Jamie's camp ballooned, rainbow cleat standard, his book Field of Hearts, a locker room staple. Elena's visit stretched, her partner's loss a ghost, she exorcised in script sessions. Co-write, she proposed, Alex's memoir morphing collaborative. Chapters flowed. The tear, the touch, the triumphs, raw as dailies. One dusk, walking the Scioto, she confessed, you saved me too, kid. That night, I was dry on hope. Alex hugged her fierce. Mutual cut. Autumn alert. A Whitaker ripple. His obit in the Dispatch, 82, educator and author. No mention of Elmwood scar, but condolences mixed with curses online. Alex penned a private note to his widow, unread but released. May peace find what anger lost. Jamie burned sage in solidarity, Luna drawing a mandala of mending. Holiday hullabaloo. Extended clan converging. Jamie's folks co-hosting turkey with tamales, toast to tolerances earned. Luna gifted Alex a storyboard of their life, stick figures kissing under confetti shreds. Tears fell, joy's kind. Winter's white brought Luna's first crush, non-binary artist Riley, braces and boldness. Alex and Jamie navigated with care, listen more than direct. Alex advised over cocoa. Riley joined dinners, sparks flying safe. Spring 2045, festival's 25th a triumph. Luna's feature premiere, Alex producing. From your rip to my roll, she dedicated, crowd roaring. Elena, frail but fierce, whispered, cycle complete. Summer sabbatical, family RV odyssey, coast to coast, LA screenings, NYC Tish visits for Luna. One Nevada night, under Milky Way blaze, Jamie renewed vows impromptu. Gears eternal. Love-making in the desert dark, stars witnesses, bodies bold. Fall foliage framed Alex's memoir launch, Shredded Light. Bestseller, book tour with Jamie as roadie. Elena's forward. He directed his own Dawn. At 45, Alex taught masterclasses, Jamie refereed tourneys, Luna scouted colleges. Ripples reached, a Elmwood alum, trans mayor, citing Alex's stand. Gala night, Alex raised glass. Tears to toasts, we direct the light. Jamie's embrace, Luna's lens, family's frame, forever focused. 45 arrived with the subtlety of a slow zoom. Life's lens pulling back to reveal the expanse of what Alex Rivera had built, brick by heartfelt brick. Mornings now started with coffee on the porch swing, Luna 19 and home from her freshman year at NYU, regaling over bagels about dorm dramas and directing profs who paled next to dad's tales. Jamie, 46, gray at the temples but game in the gym, flipped eggs with one hand, the other sketching camp expansions on a napkin. Rosa, 68, puttered in her herb garden, her laughter the soundtrack to their symphony. "Look at us," she said one dawn, clipping basil. "From one ripped paper to this plot of paradise." The day job hummed. Ripped to Real, now a national network, Alex CEO in name only, delegating to Kai, who jetted between hubs, his husband and twins in tow. Luna's internship turned full-time gig, her thesis a doc on second-gen queers. Elena, 72, semi-retired but scripting cameos, zoomed weekly. "Don't fade to black yet, boys." Her health waned, chemo clouds, but spirit sparked, co-authoring Alex's follow-up, Real Resists. Afternoon brought a call from Elmwood's superintendent, a Whitaker Memorial plaque proposed, controversial figure in education reform. Alex's gut twisted, old shreds stirring. He convened the family dinner debate. Luna fierce. Commemorate the mistake, not the man. Jamie pragmatic. Words matter, catalyst for change. Rosa wise. Honor the hurt, not the hurter. They drafted a response. Decline, but fund a resilience garden instead, benches engraved with stories of survival. Jamie's camp hit record enrollment, his TEDx talk, scoring acceptance, viral, invitations flooding. "Tour with me," he asked Alex post-shower, towel low, eyes inviting. Alex tugged him close, steam-scented skin yielding to kisses that deepened, water droplets tracing paths down spines. They tumbled to the bath mat, lovemaking lazy and lush. Years honing the art, climaxes crashing like waves on familiar shores. Always yes, Alex breathed, afterglow warm. Luna's homecoming party that weekend pulsed with peers. Riley, now partner, DJing indie anthems. Kai toasting toasts. One guest, a shy sophomore from Indiana, cornered Alex. Reed shredded. "My principals like him." Pulled my play. Alex handed his card. "Send the script. We'll intervene." Echoes, endless. Falls Festival marked 30 years since the tear, a gala of galaxies, alumni stars aligning. Luna emceed, her poise pure Rivera. Elena, cane in hand, presented Alex a lifetime award for directing destinies. Speech swallowed, Alex choked. From villain's veto to our victory lap. Backstage, Jamie's hug anchored, their kiss a private encore. Winter wrapped in wanderlust. Family cruise to Mexico, Rosa's roots calling. Beaches bleached white, Luna snorkeling with Riley, Jamie and Alex stealing siestas. Naps turning naps, cabana curtains billowing as hands explored, moans mingling with ocean hush. Midlife magic, Jamie quipped, sated. Spring 2050, at 50, Alex eyed legacy projects, a foundation for queer arts in red states. Jamie coached nationally, Luna's debut feature Oscar buzzed. Elena's finale script arrived. Your story, my swan song. Summer scorched with shoots, Luna directing Alex in a cameo, metamagic. One take, tears real, love you dad. Rap party, Jamie's speech. From hug to here, our blockbuster. Fall foliage framed funerals. Elena's, quiet Quaker rite, her ashes scattered on the Scioto. Alex eulogized. She cut the hate, framed the heart. Gathering after, Luna's hand in his, her reel rolls on. At the festival, Alex unveiled Vasquez Visions, annual grant in her name. Toast raised. To interventions immortal. 50 found Alex scripting sunsets, Jamie building bridges, Luna lighting paths. The rip? A faded frame, but the real? Infinite, iridescent. 50 crept in like a soft focus filter, blurring the hard edges of years into a patina of peace. Alex Rivera, lines etching his laugh like script notes, savored sunrises from the kitchen window, mugs steaming as Jamie patted in for a good morning grope. Habits honed to habitus. Luna, 24, crashed weekends from LA, her director's chair commandeered for brunches where she pitched pilots over mimosas. Rosa, 73, ruled the roost, her memoir, Nurse of Narratives, self-published, tales of triage and tamales. Age is just act 2, she'd say, kneading dough. The nonprofit thrived. Ripped to Real chapters in 20 states. Kai's vision viral via VR tours. Alex advisory now, guest lecturing at festivals, his keynote, From Shred to Screen, a staple. One panel in Austin, a teen from Whitaker's old academy approached. Your story got my club funded, thanks. Alex's reply, pay it frame. Jamie's legacy league expanded, his book sequel Hearts in Play, mentoring coaches on inclusion. Luna's Oscar win for Loop Lines packed their shelves, her acceptance nod to Alex. Ripped the path I run. Elena's grant seated her next, a series on elder queers, Rosa Consulting. Anniversary 35. Elmwood's garden bloomed, benches whispering winds, a central plaque, resilience rises, in memory of moments that mended. Dedication drew crowds. Luna unveiling. Jamie's arms stealing Alex's trimmer. Full circle, he whispered. Post-ceremony picnic. Laughter lapped at loss. Whitaker's ghost gossamer now. Midlife milestone. Vow renewal at 25 years married. Intimate. Rosa officiating, Luna filming. Lakeside, Jamie's words. Gears ground true. Rings exchanged. Kiss sealed under arches of light. Reception devolved to dance floor delirium, bodies swaying. Alex and Jamie's slow grind a private reel. Heat building till hotel escape. Sweet a stage for symphony. Ties loosened, shirts shed, bed a canvas of caresses, peaks pulsing in harmony. Eternal edit. Jamie sighed, entwined.